Hey everybody, it's Ann, and this is what is on the menu for tonight. We're doing ribs. These are baby back pork ribs. I'll show you how I put it together. I have two slabs right here. See these big? They're huge. So the only trimming I do on these is I pull that what do you call that, on the outside, on the back, on the back of the ribs. It's like the silver skin that doesn't, you can't really chew it up very well. So if you take that off, your ribs are going to be even better. You don't have to, but I always do. So here are the ribs. I do a dry rub and I seal it up, and then I make a little pouch with foil. See how this is going to all seal up? And then it almost like steams it in the oven. But before I do that, I make this dry rub mixture. Now, before I was keto, I made it with brown sugar, which is really delicious, but I'm not doing brown sugar. So what I'm going to use is just a monk fruit sweetener, and there actually is a brown sugar. There's a maple syrup one. You know what? I'm going to go get that. I think that would be really good. Stay right there. Okay, so this is a maple syrup monk fruit. So it's, obviously it's not maple syrup. It's a monk fruit syrup flavored with maple. And so I'm going to, oh look, I've never opened it before. So I think I'm gonna add, and it has only one net carb per 2 tablespoons. So I think I'll just put in 2. So here's my tablespoon. The other ingredients I have in here are salt, pepper, lots of salt, lots of pepper, ground cumin, dry thyme. I love chipotle chili powder because it's hotter and it's smoky. I'll show you that versus regular chili powder. See? I get this on Amazon because the little bottles in the store are kind of expensive, and you get this giant. I've had this for a while. It's pretty cheap. Let's see, also garlic powder, and I use cayenne pepper because I love spicy food. I use onion powder, and I think I said garlic powder. And then I just added that monk fruit maple syrup, and it kind of turns it into almost a paste. And the other ingredient I'm going to use just a little bit because it goes a really long way is liquid smoke. It's kind of a little cheat to get that smoky flavor. So I'm going to use, I have a half a teaspoon. I'm just going to put in a half a teaspoon in this spice blend. And I probably have almost a half a cup of spices in here. Maybe not that much, 1/4 cup. So I'm just going to mix it all up. See how it turns into a paste? And I'm just going to paste it on these ribs and then seal it up in its little foil pouch. And then I have the oven set to, ooh, it smells mapley and smoky. I'm excited to try this. And then I have the oven set on 285, so it's not very hot. And this is going to cook slow and low in my oven for about 2 hours. So if you're going to do this, you need some time. You don't want to do it when your family's starving. I'm sure my husband is sitting over there listening going, yeah, I am. So get on with it. So here, I'm going to just show you, I'm going to get all of this on here. So I've taken it all out of the container, and this is where you get messy. Just make sure you wash your hands before and after, which I have. It's very important to use good food safety when you're preparing food. So, okay, so what we have here then is this paste of spices, and I generally don't even add sauce. It adds so much flavor to the ribs. And, spices do have carbs in them. It's not that they're carb-free, but they're you're just spreading it out over so much meat that it doesn't really add up like a barbecue sauce would. So a lot of times I do both sides. I do the bone side, and I do the this top meatier side. But I didn't really make enough of the rub to go on both of these. I wasn't going to cook both, but I hate freezing my meat because I just don't think it's the same after you defrost it. So I want to get both of these cooked tonight, and then we'll have leftovers, and everybody's gonna be eating well for a couple days. So anyway, that is what we got going on here. I'm gonna do a quick little wash up and then wrap this all up, and I'll show you all what it looks like when it is when it's all done. So see you in a bit. Okay, so I have washed up my hands, all clean. So you can see the ribs. This is, I have all that spice blend, dry rub, that I use the monk fruit maple syrup and all the spices. I have it all spread out on the meat, and kind of rubbed it in, gave it a good massage. And then I have this little pouch that I've created. So I took 3 sheets of tinfoil, sealed them together real tight because I don't want steam and the juices to run out. I want it all to stay in with the meat. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring this side over and this side over and just seal it, roll it up real tight. When I say tight, I don't mean I want to leave like air in the pouch, so it is kind of poofy, but I want the seams to be sealed up real tight. So do the all around. It also makes for a really quick cleanup too, if you don't spill it all over the place. So make sure you're not hanging over the edges. You don't want to mess in your oven. I like to have tasty but easy. So here it is. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the oven, and that's gonna sit in there for 2 hours. And then the other thing you could do is you could put it on a grill, and then you could baste it with some sauce and get those caramely bits everyone likes. So, but that's the way you do it, and it's pretty easy. It takes a little while, but it's simple. Anyway, that's it for now. Bye. It's been in the oven for 2 hours. These are the ribs, and I'm gonna see how they look. That you can see, my pan's kind of old and beat up, but nothing is leaked out. So it's gonna be super easy for cleanup. And you can just see that steam coming out. So everything, the heat is really nicely stayed in there, and cooked. It really helps cook the ribs and tender them up. So this is what it looks like. See it? So they look really delicious. And from this point, you can, like I had said earlier, you can put them on the grill and baste it with some barbecue sauce if you like, and it gets that caramelized texture to it. There are some pretty decent keto barbecue sauces on the market, or you can make your own. I have a recipe that I use to make some really tasty barbecue sauce, but we're not doing that tonight. We're just going to cut these up, and then let's see, this is probably pretty hot. I made some broccoli. So this is what's for dinner: ribs and broccoli. That is keto, people. Super simple. It took me no time at all to prepare the ribs, rub them down, stick them in the oven. I went for a bike ride while they were in the oven, and cleaned the kitchen, did a bunch of other things. So I love to cook that way, and it's just delicious. And you know that it's nutritious because you made it. So we're gonna dig in, but I just wanted to show you what it looked like when it was all done. So there we go.